This weekend, unplug. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a successful motivational speaker and trusted life coach, Nancy knows how you can live the life you want regardless of the challenges you face. Although she's legally blind, Nancy's mission is to inspire others to overcome obstacles and live life full out. Call in at 800-333-0001 to ask Nancy for advice on topics such as relationships, finances, business, health, and more. Just call 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Living Full Out Show. I am Nancy Solari, and today we're going to be talking about making a difference. We all get so busy in our world and our lives, and sometimes we forget to take a pause and really look around and see whose life we can make a difference in, whose life can we inspire, motivate, influence. So over the course of today's show, I want you to open your eyes wider, allow yourself to hear people more clearly. Really get yourself more in tune with the world around you and see how you can make a difference. We're going to be accompanied later on in our second segment with a very inspirational guest, Leanne Toohey. You may know her story from The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock. She'll be coming up and sharing her very personal story with us, so stay tuned for that. And we will be taking your calls as well. Again, that number is 800-333-0001, 800-333-0001. We like to hear from you at the Living Full Out Show. We like to know, how are you inspired? How did you take action after the show and go out there, such as today, and make a difference? What did you do? Because that will further inspire our audience to say, well, I can do it too. So please reach out to us with any questions or insights that you had from today's show. Also, if you feel that you have an inspirational story and you would be a good guest on our show, then again, we'd love to hear your story. The way to reach out to us is to go to connect@livingfullout.com. Again, that's connect@livingfullout.com. And to hear today's show and all of our shows, you can go to livingfullout.com, go to our website, click on the radio tab, and you can hear the show live every week, or you can hear the recordings. So check that out. So going back to today's theme, making a difference. It's interesting. When I started Living Full Out, a lot of people say to me, Nancy, why did you start your company? And a large part of that was making a difference. When we allow ourselves to assist another person, when we will hold the space for somebody else's dreams to come true, that's how we stay connected. That's how we build on each other. And you've heard of 6 degrees of separation, right? That is true. We're all very much connected. So we're going to go to the lines now and connect with one of our callers and see what's going on with them. Hello, welcome to the Living Full Out Show.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for calling in. How can we help you today?
So I just have a question. I am a second-year grad student at USC, and I'm having a difficult time balancing pretty much everything with school, work, and an internship. And I was just wondering how I should go about balancing all of these, but also having some me time.
That is a good question. And here's the thing. Do you find that you do best in your life when you're as busy as you are now, or do you find that you're at your best when you're able to focus on one thing at a time?
Probably one thing at a time.
Okay. So you want to trust that. Okay, I'm not saying that you can give up school or give up your internship or any of that, but you always want to give to your employer, to your classes, to your friends, the best of you. And sometimes when we get in a place where we're trying to please everybody, sometimes we don't please everybody. I'm not saying we don't please nobody, but we kind of don't do things to the level that we want. You can't necessarily drop everything today and say, okay, I'm done with everything. But as you journey into your next semester, as you embark even into the next year, you want to pay attention to you want to set yourself up for success, right? So you want to pay attention to how you work best. Like I work best when I am kind of in this zany multitasking state because it keeps my energy level high. But like you, I know a lot of people who really like to dig in deep and put all 110% of their effort into one thing. And that is perfect. That is fine. So complete where you are now. That's what I would do, okay? And to find balance, always remember your purpose. Purpose will always feed your soul, feed your mind. It's better than caffeine. It's better than even 8 hours sleep. Purpose, because when you go to class, even if you're so dog tired you can barely even concentrate, remember that by studying and going to class, you'll get a degree that will in turn get you to your dream career, what you want to do. And when you're in that role in your career, you'll now be making a difference in whatever profession you're in, right? Same goes for your internship. You have a quantity of time that you're going to be working for that company. You want to give them the best of you, but show that passion. The best isn't necessarily being the smartest, being the most creative. The best is sometimes just being the one who's there and pitching in where it counts, okay? So even on your most tired day, just being of service as much as you can, okay? But if you keep passion near your heart and you keep your eye on the ball, which is that dream career, that impact that you want to make in the future, you will be able to balance all these things. If you let all these things become bigger than you, bigger than your dream, you'll get gobbled up. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
But personally, between you and I, because of course, no one else is listening. No, I'm kidding. But between you and I, you got this. You got this, okay? Just put your hand on your heart, make me a promise that you will not spread yourself this thin again. Let yourself be where you are best when you concentrate on one thing at a time.
I will.
Okay? Perfect.
Yes.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. So what a great call. What a great example of where so many of us are. I mean, it doesn't matter what your overcommitments are. When you're overcommitted, you just feel tired. You feel like, what am I doing? I'm so tired. I can barely think. La, 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 la. All of that negative talk you allow to come into your mind. And when you let that in your mind, that's how self-doubt starts. That's where the limiting beliefs, can I do it, start. You want to cast all that away. And you want to make sure, just like I told her, to keep that purpose near and dear to your heart. Hold it closely in the palm of your hands. Don't forget about that. For here at Living Full Out, we put the show together for you every week. We have people that are researching guests for the show, and, we're here taking your calls for the show. And it is all to make a difference. It's all to inspire people. So even when you're a caller and you call into the show, guess what? You're serving as an example for others. You're making a difference in others' lives by letting them hear your story, your challenge. So making a difference is not necessarily always donating money, donating time. It can be the simple act of gesture. It can be opening the door for someone who clearly has their hands full. It can be giving someone an extra $5 of gas when they need it. When you see them put down, I'll take $2 on number 8. Okay. $2 is $2, So maybe give them a $5 and let them have $7. There's ways in which we can give to somebody else to really make a difference in the world. So we want to think about that over the course of today's show as well. We're going to go back to the phone lines again and chat with one of our callers. Welcome to the Living Full Out Show. Hi, thank you for calling in. How can we help you?
Hi, Nancy. This is Mayra.
Hi, thank you.
Hi. I have a question. I am a diabetic, and I find having to live healthy is really hard for me because everything I try doesn't seem to stick, and I don't know what to do.
Well, being a diabetic, first of all, I know that comes with various challenges, and sometimes it's day by day, right? So what do you think in terms of finding that healthy balance and dealing with being diabetic? What is the biggest struggle you have? Is it being tired? What is the biggest symptom that's hardest for you?
I think it has to do a lot with the food choices because it seems like everything I eat is, it's bad for me. So I don't know exactly what to do.
Well, do you know what you should be eating?
Definitely nothing that contains sugars or what would break down to sugars, which is basically almost everything that I eat.
Well, so you just got to look at it as a lifestyle change. It just is. I can't make a perfect connection with you, but I'll share one thing with you. I'm legally blind, and I remember when I had to give up driving. You know, we all drive. You know, it's almost like a entitlement, right? You turn 16 or whenever you get it, and you're driving. But when you can't drive, it's like, how am I going to get from A to B, right? It's the same kind of feeling that you have when you want to eat things, but you can't eat those things. But it's more importantly than that. It's important for you to feel good, because when you feel good, then you can smile big. Then you can be active in your life. Then you sleep better at night. So, well, it might be tempting to have those naughty foods, and maybe from time to time you let yourself indulge, just very, very rarely, but on special occasions. But the trade-off of feeling better is worth it. It really is. Now, in this day and age, you can go to the internet and find tons of recipes. There's books for people with recipes for those who are diabetic. There's support groups. There's organizations dedicated to people who have diabetes. And so what I would do personally is I would engage in all that information and really put together a plan. See how fun and creative you can make it. I remember one time when I was trying to lose about 10 pounds, I was like, okay, I'm going to find healthy mac and cheese. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm going to find it on the internet, a healthy version of mac and cheese, because I don't know, I love it and I couldn't give it up. And it was right around college time, and I was like, I just can't give it up. I need it. I got finals coming. And sure enough, I found a version that was healthy. So I know you can too. All right? So just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Take action. Find those resources, and you'll be great. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everybody, we're going to be coming right back after this break with Leanne Toohey. Her story is just honestly amazing. You've heard it from the blind side, but now we get to hear it from her. So stay with us. This is the Living Full Out Show. I'm Nancy Solari. We'll be right back.
Dad, this is fun. I didn't think I'd like kayaking.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I think it's time to head back in.
Okay. Can we come back?
Sure.
Tomorrow?
Let's check with Mom. Hey, be careful getting out of the boat.
It's a kayak, Dad.
I'm gonna return the kayak. Just make sure you have everything.
Yep. Can we walk home?
How about a taxi? 233 North Maple, please.
It's a short fare from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood.
Best day ever.
A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Chances are there'll never be an emergency ever again. But just in case, let's talk about a plan.
Okay.
Who is going to grab the go bag?
What's a go bag? It is a bag we do not have that is filled with things we really, really need in an emergency.
Guess we won't have to worry about it then.
Well, this is great. I am so glad that we don't have a plan.
I know.
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You take your 6-year-old to the playground. You watch her go down the slide, then run over to the swings. Another mother strikes up a conversation. You take your eye off your daughter for just a few seconds. You look back at the swings. And she's gone. Your heart drops into your stomach. You jump up, your eyes searching. You cry out her name.
Lily? Lily?
From the top of the slide, you hear a voice.
Mommy, watch me.
Every parent knows that feeling. Imagine if she were actually abducted. Go to wirelessamber-alerts.org. Sign up for free Amber Alerts on your cell phone. When an Amber Alert is issued in the areas you've chosen, you'll receive a free text message. If you spot the vehicle, the suspect, or the child described in the alert, call 911. Sign up today at wirelessamber-alerts.org. A child is calling for help. This message brought to you by the Wireless Foundation, the U.S. Department of Justice, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. A professional motivational speaker, Nancy can help you overcome obstacles and start living full out. Call in with questions live at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Welcome back to the Living Full Out Show. I am Nancy Solari, and today we're talking about making a difference. And our inspirational guest is such a perfect example of living full out. I just can't even tell you. It's like she's like way beyond level 10, like level 100 in terms of her energy and spirit. She is Leanne Toohey. You know her story best through the movie The Blind Side. But I want to talk to her today so we can hear it directly from her, just the various decisions that she made along the way, you know, where this giving nature, her steadfast spirit, all of that came from, because she is honestly just a strong advocate for everybody making a difference. Everybody, again, looking at how you can assist another person in a bigger, better way. So I'd like to welcome Leanne Toohey to the show.
Hi, how are you today?
Hi, Leanne. I am good. You know what? I'll tell you, I am not going to ask you that one dreaded question that you always fear that people are going to ask.
A lot of them I fear. I don't know if there's just one.
Well, it's funny, everybody. When I was studying up on Leanne, there's this one question that she always says, oh gosh, don't ask me that question. And that is, has your life changed since The Blind Side? Okay, we all know that that's happened. But I am curious. I just, you know, we've all seen the movie. And if you haven't, everybody go out there and watch it. It's awesome. But I'm just curious, could you take us back to that day when you saw Michael walking on the street? And what was it about him? What was it about what was inside you that made you turn the car around?
Well, I think probably more than anything it was just motherly instinct. And if you're a female and you've got children, then you absolutely know what I'm talking about. You would be able to relate to that, because you know, we were driving down the street and you see a teenager walking down the road, and he was, you know, inappropriately dressed for the weather in a neighborhood he shouldn't have been in. It was, you know, early in the morning. It was a culmination of things that I just kind of thought, wow, there's just some kind of out of place and odd about that. So I just kind of turned to my husband and, you know, said, turn the car around. And those two words have ended up being very impactful on our entire family, turn around. My third book is entitled Turn Around. We all wear armbands that say turn around, because we just have come to realize that the view from behind you is very different looking than the view from in front of you. So it's amazing how God has used one instant in just one little snapshot in our life, and it's changed it so dramatically, because, you know, we really shouldn't have been there at that time of day. Michael certainly shouldn't have been there, but he was, and so, you know, we absolutely think that was meant to be. I mean, there's people in this world that have done far more grandiose things than our family did that day or has done since then or will ever do. But the fact of the matter is that God chose our family to have a platform, have a message, and everyone has been such good stewards of the message. And, you know, we're very humbled that, you know, we're 6 years removed from the movie, and it's amazing how God continues to use this every single day to have an impact.
Oh, that movie is a standout. I mean, first of all, congratulations to you and really Sandra Bullock too, to display such emotion and such a caring story. And it just really, I walked away from that movie wanting to go out there and do better and be better. And that's the whole point. Now, I'm just curious, you know, your family took Michael in. You really saw something in him and believed in him, and that's a large part of where it all starts. Did you find along the way that people were judging your decision?
Well, absolutely. I mean, people judge everybody for everything. It's amazing to me. It's almost, we live in like a gotcha society, because it's like they want you to screw up. They want you to say the wrong thing. They want you to post the wrong thing. They want you to almost so they can just be judgmental of what you've done. And that's just so unfortunate because so many of these things that we see in our current environment, I don't think people did them with ill intent or malicious thinking. They're errors. I mean, we're human. Everybody screws up and makes mistakes. And, it's been a very judgmental journey. It's gotten a little bit better for our walk because I think people are a little fearful of me because I just don't take you out to look at you. I don't really care. I don't care what you think about me. But they are familiar with us, and we are family to a lot of people. So we're a little bit cocooned, more so now than we were at the beginning of this. But there are so many people, other people, that have stepped out of their comfort zones and have done things that are not so acceptable by society, and they're getting judged for it. And we heard it all, especially on the first, let's say, 2 to 3 years of having Michael in our family and adopting him. We would hear it would just take days and days to share all of the stupid things. That's when I came up with the saying that, yes, we need a cure for cancer, but we need a cure for stupidity worse because, people will just say anything, and it's unfortunate. But what you have to do, you just kind of have to put your big boy pants on and ignore them and know in your heart that you're doing the right thing. And you have to, this is something between you and God. And when you know you're doing the right thing and you're doing what's intended to be done, then that's what truly matters. You can't live by other people's expectations.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's been a lot of winning moments for you and your family and your relationship even with Michael. But when you consider that entire journey, and there's so many of these moments, but if you could just think of one, is there one moment where you were kind of sitting with yourself and maybe you cried because you are so strong, but you cried in joy?
I cry every time we go to. Okay. Well, we go to all the kids' sporting events, but we go to all of Michael's games, and I continue. In the NFL, they announce offense one week and defense the next week, and every single time the offense is announced and he comes through the smoke, I cry. And my husband, we haven't started this year yet. It's quickly approaching, but last year, the first game that the offense was announced, and Michael Orr, offensive tackle, University of Mississippi, and he's coming through the smoke, and I'm just sobbing. And my husband looks at me and he goes, "Really, really?" Because we are in year 8 of the NFL. Are you going to continue to cry? I said, I will cry every single time that he does that. But the first time that it ever happened, I sobbed like a baby because to me it was, other than seeing your child achieve a dream that they worked so hard for, the fact that that it paid off. Here's this young man that has poured his heart and soul into this and has done everything that's expected of him, that's required of him. And for him, it was just this culmination of wow, he reached the pinnacle of what he was trying to do at that moment. And it didn't have to be about winning or losing a football game. It was just that, he did the right things and listened to people and accepted the help that was offered to him. And that whole ball of wax allowed this moment to happen. Mm-hmm. And so that was a moment, that I'll just never forget because it was just this I don't even really know how to explain it as a mother, but it was just pride and it was love and it was humbleness, it was joy, and it was gratefulness for so many people along the way that had helped because it takes a village. I mean, myself, my husband Sean, our daughter Collins, our daughter SJ, Miss Sue, who was Michael's tutor and just a dear family friend. I mean, I could go on and name the people. Coach Hugh Freeze, who was his high school coach and who believed in him from the beginning and is now the head coach at Ole Miss. I mean, all of these people believed that investing time in this young man would change his life. And we were just hoping for, high school graduation and to get into college, that type of thing. I mean, and it just was a wonderful journey, and we met so many great people, and it truly takes a village. And that's, we tell people all the time, when people offer you help, reach out and accept it because it's hard to do something, without a whole support system and a support structure there to help you along the way.
Well, I know you've said a couple different times that, it's as if you birthed Michael yourself. He's your son. He's that much part of your life.
Oh,
and
Lord, yes. Don't he and Collins think they're twins?
Oh, and aren't they the same age? I mean,
they are.
They are, yeah.
They're just a few months apart.
That's so great. Now, it's actually scary to think, and this is where everybody, I want you to really take in Leanne's story and think, how can you step in and make a difference to somebody like another Michael? Because it's really scary to think where he would be today without having your family stepped in. And I'm sure you think about that often.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. Our family foundation is called the Making It Happen Foundation, and we're micro give, so it's no monetary. We're happy to we provide needs like you need a coat, you need a backpack, and the requests that we get are extremely overwhelming. You realize that wow, the needs are so great, and it's very challenging because you just could get overwhelmed and cover your head up and just not get out of bed in the morning. But you can't do that. You have to get up, put both feet on the ground, and go and do what you can do with where you are with what you have. Because this week we gave out backpacks to a lot of kids that didn't have school supplies. And I had a little first grader look at me and said, "Please don't make me take my backpack off. I've never had one. I just want to wear it all day." And you just go, "You got to be kidding me." And it's a backpack. But I mean, we've given kids, I've given a 4-year-old a cupcake and them look at me and go, what do I do with it? This is in the United States of America, a 4-year-old that doesn't know what a cupcake is, has never had a cupcake. So you may not can go out and adopt a child, but, you can go provide a cupcake for someone.
Yeah, you can definitely make a difference. Absolutely. Now, Leanne, we are going to be taking a quick break, and we're going to come back, so stay with us. But you're bringing up some great points. Everybody, we're with Leanne Toohey right now. Again, she is the mother behind the movie we all know, The Blind Side. But stay with us. This is the Living Full Out Show. I'm Nancy Solari, and we will be right back.
Hey America, we're your pets, and this song's dedicated to those people who don't have health insurance yet.
Enroll, we say, we want you to be okay. Enroll, we say, take care of people for goodness sake. There's a plan for every budget, so don't accept defeat. Now you can get covered and still buy me treats.
Enroll! So listen to me, a talking pug, you see. If you get health insurance, preventive care is now free.
So sweet. You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options. That's getcoveredamerica.org.
And take care, people!
Brought to you by Get Covered America and the Ad Council.
I want to change some things. I want the moms where I live to have childcare they can trust.
I want to make sure my little brother and his friends have a safe place to play.
I want to help more kids graduate from high school.
Help more hardworking families learn how to budget and save.
I want more of my neighbors to have access to health care.
Want to make a difference? There are so many ways you can. Help create opportunities for everyone in your community.
I want to change what I see around here.
United Way is creating real, lasting change where you live by focusing on the building blocks of a better life: education, income, and health.
I mean, I just want to see more smiles on my sidewalks.
Reach out a hand to one and influence the condition of all. Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. For more, visit United Way at liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a trusted life coach, Nancy will help you overcome setbacks and embrace all life has to offer. Call in with questions live at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Thank you again for joining us today. This is the Living Full Out Show, and I'm Nancy Solari. And today we're talking about making a difference. And we're joined by our inspirational guest, Leanne Toohey, whose story was really well displayed in the movie The Blind Side. Her family, the Tooheys, took in Michael Orr, who obviously today is doing extremely well with the Baltimore Ravens. But the thing is, Leanne,
no, he is with the.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Now.
You're right. The Panthers.
Get that
I gotta catch
girl.
up. Thank you. Okay, now this brings me back, actually, Leanne, to. I love that you called me out on that. I love that because now I want to segue to you for a second, okay? Because one of the things that people respect the most out of you is you say it like it is. You call people out. And that was well displayed again in the movie. But one of the things I want to talk about is where does that passion, where does that vigor come from? Were you like that as a child as well?
Well, my kids say I need mouth management, but, that's probably the case, and I may one day get some help with that. But, I think probably my father was retired military. He was a police officer, then he was a United States Marshal. I grew up in a household, a very loving household, but it was very regimented, and there was no gray area. Everything was black and white. You didn't speed, you didn't get a ticket. You didn't drink and drive, you wouldn't get a DUI. You didn't lie, It was just the house I was raised in, and my dad always spoke his mind. And I think that's when I can say it's environment. I say that about kids all the time. I say it about people. It's people talk about genetics. I just think it's environment, and that was the environment I was raised in. Very headstrong, no nonsense, and kids are a direct reflection of their parents, and so I think I'm probably a direct reflection of my father. My mom was. And she was a strong Southern woman. So the combination made for a very headstrong daughter. I was firstborn. There's 4 or 5 years between my brother and myself. So I was an only child for the first 5 or 6 years, because even when he was born, he was first couple of years he didn't contribute much. So I think that's where the combination comes from. And some days it bodes me well, and some days I need to go in timeout. But for the most part, it's a very accurate description of myself. I don't have a lot of patience for people that just say and do dumb things, and I get in trouble sometimes just saying, "Really? Did you just say that? Surely you didn't mean that." And I've tried to calm it down just a little bit, because I don't think everybody needs to hear my opinion. But sometimes the injustice is so great that I can't do it. It gets me in trouble on social media a lot of the times, and I've tried to certainly be a little bit more cognizant of that. But because I want the good of our message and our platform to certainly be what people take away versus, oh, Lord, here's a crazy woman with a big mouth.
Well, you know what? That mouth is what got you to where you are today. That's what helped Michael. So we wouldn't trade that mouth for the world. But I am curious. A lot of times people feel like they know the person, and they maybe seen you in an interview, or they watch the movie, and they feel like they know you. But what do we not know about Leanne? What is something about Leanne that we haven't seen, and another side of you that isn't portrayed in the movie or in the interviews?
They hung around and shadowed us a long time doing the movie. For Hollywood not to screw something up is probably really nothing short of a miracle. And they did a great job with The Blind Side. When it ended, my kids were like, "Oh God, there's 2 of them running around," and I was like, "It's a movie." But I have a big heart. I'm very, very compassionate. Now, you mess with me or you talk about my kids, I'll rip your heart out and step on it. I can do that in 2 seconds flat. But I have just the biggest heart in the world. Like the whole backpack thing this week just killed me, because I'm sitting here going, "This is a backpack. How many more backpacks do we need? What kids don't have a backpack?" And that just drives me crazy to know that there's kids in these situations. None of these children ask to be in these situations. There isn't a kid in the whole world that woke up and said, "I want to be in a homeless family," or gee, I want to grow up and be in foster care. I mean, they didn't. They didn't ask for this. It was thrust upon them. It's no fault of their own. And as a society, we have failed these kids. I mean, I think there's 148,000 kids right now, this exact moment that we're talking, that are waiting to be adopted. And all they want is a forever family. They want somebody to tell them they love them. My son was 16 years old, my son Michael, before someone had ever told him that they loved him. That's just not right.
Yeah.
And, look, I mean, we loved him. We provided him a home, structure, and look how he turned out. And you just go there. If somebody as valuable as Michael Orr doesn't get these things, who falls through the cracks? What kid that could be the next president of the United States, and Lord knows we need a viable candidate, or could be the next best attorney or manager or whatever it is, and they're not offered this chance. So I have that side of me that just keeps me awake at night, because I think I got to get up. I got to get, because there's something that I can do. There's something that can be done. What can we do? And I just have a burning passion for these kids that are getting lost in this society, that it's no fault of their own, and it's a cycle. And they're born to teenage parents, and these parents can't offer anything for the kids, and then they end up having kids, and it's just a cycle. And I'm not smart enough to fix it, but it needs fixing, and we all need to step up and do our part. Whether you mentor a child to teach them to read, I mean, you would be blown away by the people in this country that cannot read. Or you go buy that cupcake for someone, or a backpack for someone, or a bottle of water, or talk to someone at the bus stop, or just realize that the person that you're valuing so incorrectly, when given the least little bit of chance, what they could become. So there's a lot that we can do. Everyone can do something. And I guess what I'm asking you to do when I'm off of this radio show and you're thinking about what was said today is, what are you doing? What part are you playing? What role are you giving to make someone smile? Be the reason someone smiles today. So, it can be simple. Hold the door open for somebody. Make them smile. Or go as far as, adopt a child. But there's a lot that goes on between those two that we all could contribute to. So, if you're listening to this radio show, then you've got the ability to make a difference in someone's life, and that's my challenge to you, just to do something.
I love that. We're all about challenges here. And, one of the things that we talk about at Living Full Out a lot is purpose, and following one's purpose, finding one's purpose, living your purpose. And what do you think, after all this time, your purpose has been?
Well, it's really interesting, because I would have never told you, 10 years ago that this was my purpose. I mean, I was an interior designer, very established, had a career, did very, very well at it, and I thought that was my purpose. So, I always caution people, be careful, because God's plans are a lot of the times greater than our plans are. And I never saw this coming. I didn't anticipate this, didn't plan for this. I didn't wake up and go, gee, I think that, we're going to drive down the street and see a young man and adopt him, and he said we're going to become a football player, and they're going to make a movie about us, and I'm going to write 3 books and have 3 TV shows. I mean, none of that was ever anticipated. And a lot of mornings I just kind of a little scared to get out of bed, because I'm like, wow, what's going to happen next? But at this point today, at this moment, right now, as we're talking, I mean, I would say that my purpose is to beat the drum for people to realize that families don't have to match, and that you need to learn to love someone that doesn't look like you. And obviously we're having major racism issues in this country, and I'm just, if I can help in any shape, form, or fashion at any time, anyone, anywhere, I'm happy to do that, because I think we all need to be aware that, it's just skin color, and it's about what's on the inside, and that families don't have to match, and that we all need to learn to love people that don't look like us. And so that, to me, right now, at this moment in time, is what I would think that my purpose is. God put me here for a reason, and I'm going to try my best not to disappoint him or let him down.
Well, you're doing it, girl. You're doing it bigger than I think you could even dream. I mean, it's amazing to see how your family, your life has unfolded. We're extremely proud to have you here with us today. And as we kind of round out this interview, so many listeners are going to take the words that you say and take them to heart and go out there and make a difference. Because I think people really want to do good in the world. They want to give back. But there is going to be that percentage of people that are just surviving themselves. And they're like, Leanne, I hear you, but I can't even breathe. I'm so stressed. What do you say to those people?
Well, I think that's a vast majority of the world, really, that you just described. I think that if you break it down into percentages, there's the majority of people are just, they're living, hand to mouth. They're just scraping by. But this isn't about money, and this isn't about what you can buy someone. This is about giving of your time and giving of yourself. We could have easily written Michael probably a check and said, "Oh, here," as we drove by him, here's some money and go and buy yourself some food and a pair of clothes and have a good life. And that wouldn't have made Michael turn out to be the wonderful person that he is today. It's about investing time with people. And time is the most valuable commodity that anyone has. So even if you are just scraping by, that doesn't matter. That doesn't have anything to do with the fact that you can be kind. If you can be anything in this world, be kind. And we all can do that. That doesn't take money. It doesn't take a fancy car. It doesn't take the best new tennis shoes. It doesn't take a fancy watch or a big diamond ring. It just takes yourself. And if you just start out in your own house, love your family, treat your family with respect and dignity, then work in your community, work on your street, help your neighbor. There are people that don't even know the people that live next door to them. Introduce yourself to your neighbor. Be kind to your neighbor.
Leanne, you just continue to give and give. I love that. But, oh my gosh, this time is up. Our interview is complete. But honestly, you're amazing. I'm so thankful that you could join us today. Everybody, this is Leanne Toohey. Just thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you very much. I look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Wonderful. Have a great day. Thanks, Leanne.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye. So everybody, that was Leanne Toohey. Again, she was the mother behind The Blind Side. This is the Living Full Out Show, and we will be right back taking your calls.
Look for the bare necessities.
The bare necessities of healthy living are easier than you think.
You better believe it.
And the Food Pyramid shows you the way. With just the right amount of exercise and the necessary grains, vegetables, fruits, milk, and meats and beans.
Just the bare necessities of life.
So eat right, be active, and have fun.
Yeah, man.
For your own path to a healthier you, visit mypyramid.gov.
This is really living.
This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Ad Council.
Dimes are shiny and round. Nickels are also round.
This 28-year-old woman may sound a little strange to you and me, but to her 3-year-old daughter, she makes perfect sense.
Pennies are round too.
They are.
When you talk with your child, you build vocabulary, and learning starts long before school does. So follow their lead. Take everyday moments like an errand at the bank and turn them into learning moments.
Dollars are rectangles.
I like dollars.
Turn everyday moments into learning moments. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
I'm getting a catcher's mitt.
I'm getting ice skates. I'm getting a devastating flood.
Adults are generous. We're even giving kids global warming, but we can still reduce greenhouse gas pollution. Go to fightglobalwarming.com. Brought to you by Environmental Defense, the Robertson Foundation, and the Ad Council.
In 50 feet, turn left. Why are you driving so slowly?
After a few drinks, I'm taking it slow.
Well, you're not fooling the cop behind you.
What?
Get ready to pay in 0.1 miles.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
To live full out is about making a difference. It's about channeling your purpose in life to help others, support others. It can be as small as just smiling, being kind, giving to one person to support them, or giving financial donations. Whatever you can, go ahead and just be of service. Make a difference today. That is what Living Full Out is about.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a certified life coach, Nancy can help you to overcome challenges and start living full out. Call in with questions live at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Hello, I am Nancy Solari, and this is, the final segment of our show. I cannot believe it. It always goes by so fast. But today, we're talking about making a difference. And boy, did Leanne Toohey make a difference today to our show. What a powerful interview. If you need to hear that again, definitely go back to livingfullout.com. Go to our radio show page, and you can hear this whole show again, because we're talking about making a difference. We're talking about how you can support somebody else in their path, their dreams. And the thing is, it can be on the smallest scale. I was walking today on the street. I was just going to get a little breakfast before the show today, and I was walking my dog Lionel, and I was carrying a bag, and some guy passing by me said, "Can you spare some change?" Now, I really did not have the space in my arms to go find my purse. Being legally blind, it already takes me a little time to figure out what's what in the money department, seeing if I'm giving someone a 10 or a 5, or even looking at the difference between coins. But I couldn't even see him. Like, I just felt that he stopped me for a reason. He just needed something. And honestly, at the time, I really could not get to my purse. But what I did have was what I had bought. And I literally said to him, I'm sorry, I can't get to my purse right now, but are you hungry? And he goes, yeah, I'd like to go get something to eat. And I go, well, here. I knew that if I had to, I could go pick something up again on my way home to another, I don't know, get a donut at the donut shop or stop by another place. So I gave him my omelet. There went my omelet. But I knew that he needed it more than I needed it. Because when somebody does stop you on the street and they say, can you help me? Do you have any money? Our instincts are to judge them. Oh, they're going to use it for alcohol. They're going to use it for drugs. But maybe not. Maybe they're just hungry. Now, I asked him, are you hungry? I was very specific in wondering, how I could be of service to him. And he said yes. So I gave him my breakfast, and it was fine. I did eat, by the way, just so you know. And he ate. That's the good thing. So I'm just saying to you that as you go beyond today's show and you walk outside today and you look around you and you look at the people sitting at the bus stop, or you look at the person who's by themselves not saying anything, or maybe someone's looking withdrawn, maybe they need a bottle of water, maybe they're dehydrated. Whatever you can do and give is where you want to be. Now, part of our goal is to give here on the show in terms of motivation. So we're going to go back to the phone lines now. Welcome to the Living Full Out Show. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, thank you for calling in. How can we help you today?
Well, I have a question. I'm talking about putting my mom in a full-time care facility, and I was wondering, how do I find the right mindset to not feel guilty about that?
How old is your mom?
77.
77. So in some respects, that might seem younger. To some, it may seem older. It's interesting. My grandfather, who's 99, we're actually doing a similar process right now. So I hear you. And the places that you've looked at for your mom, are you looking without her, or are you going with her to look at places?
Without her. Right now she's in rehab.
Okay.
And, our goal is to get her back home. I just don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you say you don't know how much longer you can do it, is it because you're not home enough, or is it just the energy? Is it the time? What is it that stresses you out most about having her living with you?
Well, I work full time, and there's caregivers while I go to work.
Mm-hmm.
But the physical part of it is really weighing on me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you have a really good relationship with your mom?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And what has she said to you about going to another facility? Is she okay with it? Is she looking at it positively, or is she kind of grudgingly doing it?
No, she really wants nothing. She wants to stay with me, obviously.
Mm-hmm. But what is her attitude about going to another place?
Not good. It's pretty
Not good.
heartbreaking.
Okay. So she doesn't want to leave either. Okay.
Correct.
But at the same time, you know that maybe you've hit a point in your life where you don't know if physically you can give her what she needs.
Correct.
Okay. So, first of all, my heart goes out to you with your situation. And again, my family is dealing with it in a different way, but similar. And you have to look at the fact that you don't want that person to fall. You don't want them to get hurt. So when you're putting them in this facility with 24-hour care and all of that, obviously what I'm saying is kind of the feel, the sounds good stuff, right? She's going to get 24-hour care. That she won't fall. She'll be well taken care of, right?
Right.
And that's an important piece, because what if she did fall while you were at work? What if there was a time that you physically couldn't give her what she needed? And it's those times that would be a lot of pressure on you. I do believe that people who work at these assisted living homes, and that's what their career is, they do it because they love giving back. They love seniors. They understand that phase of their life. And so it's really about switching the mindset of this new journey and trying to make it seem not so scary. So obviously, the closer you can find a facility to where you live, the easier it'll be for you to go see her. I think it's really important to also find a place where you can make it as homey for her as possible. And so another question I have for you too, just whatever you can share, with your mom being in rehab, what is her abilities physically?
Well, right now she can't walk at all.
Okay.
So just basic things are very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Her mobility is not good at all.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I really feel like your family and mine are very paralleled right now, because that's exactly where my grandfather is too. He's having a hard time walking. And that's why even more so she needs that care. So I would start to invite her on that journey. Sometimes when we think about going somewhere, it's great that you're doing the legwork, and it's great that you're looking at certain facilities, but at some point I think you have to, when she can get out of rehab, have her go in a wheelchair or whatever she can do, but go look at these places with her. And sometimes pamphlets are good, sometimes pictures are good, but sometimes she might just need to be there. Because I think sometimes the scary part is, okay, how far is the restroom? Okay, how big will my room be? Okay, how often will I be fed? Showers, all those questions. But if you can make her feel comfortable and she knows that she's going to have that care, I really believe it will be okay. And the other thing too is your mom gets it. She does get it. She doesn't want to make you feel burdened or stressed either. I do believe that. Do you ever feel that from her?
From her, no.
You don't?
I mean,
Now,
I feel that, but she doesn't make me feel that way.
okay, no, right? So she doesn't make you feel that way, but you feel that way.
Right.
Right? So the other thing that you want to start thinking about is letting go of those feelings if you can. It's oftentimes when we are caring for somebody or when we think we understand or we assume, and the phrases think or assuming are dangerous places to be because they're not necessarily how the other person feels. Okay, so when you feel bad about having your mom go to this facility, granted, she'd rather be with you, but she gets it. She gets it. She knows that she needs that care. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So what I'm asking you today is try not to be so hard on yourself, okay? And try not to let yourself go to the place of, I think this, I'm assuming my mom thinks this, and just try to be positive with that next phase. Because eventually, I hate to say it, but we're all going to be where your mom is. We're all going to be where my grandfather is. And so I'm grateful for the facilities that are out there. And we just got to find the best one that feels like home to her.
Right.
There unfortunately is no easy answer. And trust me, I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. It is a tough place to be because we love our family. And you've taken her in and you've been with her. But at this point, her level of care may need more than you can give. Because again, we don't want her to fall, right? If she fell
Right.
and broke something, that would be worse than where it is right now, how you feel. Okay? We want her to stay healthy. We want her to not be injured. We want her to feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So just try to focus on those positives of the move, if you can. Okay?
I will try.
I know. I'm thinking about you, and I thank you for calling in because, again, I'm sure other listeners are dealing with the same thing you and I are right now, but just try to stay as positive as you can and try to find the place that feels most like home to her. Okay?
I will do that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
So bye-bye. What a great call, because that's very relevant to what so many are dealing with. And just like our last caller who's taking care of her mom, how Leanne took care of Michael, her son, we all have the ability to make a difference. It just starts with us taking that first step. Here's to everybody living your life full out today and making a difference. See you next week.